Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Bertina's Spiritual Sanctuary. I'm grateful you're here with me today because we're going to talk about something that I not only teach, but I really live and embody, and that's somatic yoga. I know you've heard of yoga before. You may even imagine it in your head, like a room filled with mats and people standing on their heads. I'm sorry, or doing very bendy like postures. But yes, that's one version of yoga. That's hatha yoga, that's flow yoga. But what I teach and what we'll explore today is something very different. When I started my yoga journal journey in 2015, I did not want to go to yoga. I had a friend who kept asking me to go, and I was like, it's all these skinny girls and all this and all that. And so I didn't go for a while, but then I ended up going to like a meditation or a restorative practice. And from there, I began to love yoga. Could I always do the hatha, the flow yogas? No, I never could do those. But I realized that there was a need for yoga teachers and yoga students that didn't look like most yoga students that were maybe my age, 40s, 50s at the time, maybe my body size, maybe with my disabilities. And what I wanted to do was go to yoga teacher training school. I had a few stumbles along the way, some rejections, but I found the perfect one in White Crow Yoga in Nashville. Mary Irby was one of the best teachers and still one of the best teachers that I've ever had. And we talked about what was called yoga for everybody and wellness yoga. And from there, I got my 200 and my 300 degree. And I'm sorry. Um, I also got my aqua yoga certification, restorative yoga nidra, yin yoga certification. And now I just finished my somatic yoga and about to start my Kundalini Yoga 300 hour. So if you think that you can't do yoga, then you're wrong because yoga is a practice. You can do yoga, especially somatic yoga, anywhere on the floor, in your bed, sitting in a chair. It doesn't really matter because it's mostly about being present in your body. I absolutely love all the fun classes and the themes and everything, but to me, one of my favorite practices is somatic because I'm just being quiet and I move intuitively and it's gentle and I don't have to do what the teacher says. And if you come to my class on Tuesdays at 6, you don't have to do what I say. Most of the students leave their cameras off. I just always make sure that you're okay before you start, you're okay when we end, and we go from there. But being available anywhere, even on Zoom, where you're in your own home, where you're comfortable, it makes it available to everybody, every age, every level of ability. You don't have to be flexible. You don't need to look a certain way. You don't even need fancy equipment. You just need your body, your breath, a willingness to listen. Now, I'm not going to lie. I love my bolsters. I love my blankets. And I would do a lot more restorative yoga if people had the blankets and the bolsters. But being on your bed is so comfortable sometimes. So for a little while, we're going to talk about a couple things like what somatic yoga actually is, how's it different from traditional yoga, why is it a powerful tool for healing trauma, PTSD, or emotional release, and then I'll guide you through a short practice right here on this podcast. A lot of times what I'll do is we start out lying on the floor and we release all the things that we've had going on throughout the day. We breathe, we move gently. Sometimes we may dance, depends upon the theme, the day, or what you want to do. We do meditations and mudras and mantras, affirmations and journaling, and I love it. So settle in whether you're listening while walking, sitting with a cup of tea, watching me on my website, or just lying down in your bed. Let's begin this journey. So, somatic yoga comes from the word soma, which means the living body as experienced from within. Not how someone else sees your body, but how you think your body looks, but how you feel in your body. So, let's say that again. Not how someone else sees your body, not how you think you look, but how you feel your body. This is really different from most traditional yoga classes because in most yoga studios, the focus is on alignment, form, and achieving certain posture. In somatic yoga, we kind of flip that idea on its head, and the focus isn't on how you look, but how you feel. Instead of asking, am I doing this pose right? In somatic yoga, it invites you to ask, what is my body telling me in this moment? Where do I feel tension? Where can I soften? What happens when I release my shoulders, unclench my jaw, and just let my belly expand with breath? Have you ever just let your belly go instead of holding it in? It feels so good. And that's the heart of this practice. It's not about pushing yourself harder, it's about slowing down just to listen. When you give your body permission to move slowly and mindfully, you start to notice subtle shifts. Your nervous system begins to relax. Your muscles begin to unwind. Your emotions, which may have been buried, start to surface gently. So while yoga is often thought of as a movement practice for strength and flexibility, somatic yoga is more about a moving meditation for healing and self-discovery. Now let's talk a little bit about the science of somatic healing. When we experience trauma, whether it's a big event or a small repeated stressors, our body remembers that. Trauma just doesn't live in the mind, it lives in the body. Maybe our shoulders are constantly tight, maybe our breath is always shallow, maybe we jump at sudden noises, and that's our nervous system still in survival mode. Somatic yoga works directly with the nervous system. Through gentle movement and breath, we retrain the body to feel safe again. One way of understanding this is through the polyvagal theory. And if you're not good in science, I'm going to tell you I'm not the best either, but I love this theory. It describes how our nervous system responds to safety and threat. When we feel threatened, our body goes into flight, fight, or freeze and fawn. And when we feel safe, we return to rest, digest, and connect. Somatic yoga sends signals to the body. It's safe now. You can breathe. You can let go. And that's why this practice is so effective for anxiety and depression and PTSD and even physical pain. It teaches your body a new baseline of calm. Now, one of the most powerful aspects of somatic yoga is its impact on trauma and PTSD. For those living with PTSD, the body often seems like it's in an unsafe place. You may feel hypervigilant, easily startled, disconnected from your body altogether. Somatic yoga provides a gentle way back in by moving slowly, by focusing on your breath, by offering choices. It creates a safe space where healing can unfold. Emotional release is also very common in this practice. Sometimes during a class, people begin to cry, to laugh, or even shake a little bit. And all of this is beautiful. It's the body's natural way of letting go. Trauma disconnects us from ourselves. Somatic yoga reconnects us, but not just us, it reconnects our mind, our body, our spirit, all of it. And here's the important part. You don't need to force anything. The practice itself creates the space for emotions to move when they're ready. It's about trust and patience and deep compassion for yourself. Now, let me share how I weave these into my classes. Because my classes aren't just about lying on the floor and moving your body, they're about creating a sacred space for holistic healing. So here's what you will experience when you're in my class. You will start out relaxing on the floor, releasing anything that you don't want to bring with you into the practice, all the things throughout the day. Then we do gentle poses. These poses I adapt to anyone. I'm on the floor, then I'm in a chair, I'm lying in a bed. I think I do more movement trying to bring the um, bring the different adaptions to everyone. And it's a lot of fun. This is not a stiff like, you have to do this class. I'm laughing, I'm following, I'm having fun. We're having fun. And that's the thing. Yoga is a spiritual practice, but why shouldn't you be happy when you're spiritual? That's the key. There's a lot of breath work I do, just simple breathing practices that help calm or energize your body. Nadi Shodhani sometimes, 4-part box breath. It just really depends. We do a lot of mudras to help direct our energy and create focus. Mantras and affirmations are words that I feel like are very healing and empowering, and they shift your mindset. So, like, I am enough. That is probably my favorite one because it really hits home to me. I am enough. You are enough. You're enough for right now. You are here. You're with me on this journey, and I love it. I give you some journaling prompts. Sometimes I will slide them into the meditation. Sometimes I will provide them at the end. But it just really depends upon the class. And even though I have a script that I go by that I've created, I've worked for hours on, I don't stick to it because this is a healing experience and it supports your mind, your body, and your soul. And I have to know who's going to be there. And I have to kind of know what's going on with you. That's why the first few minutes we kind of just use some time to get to know each other, see what we're doing, set some intentions. Sometimes I may pull some cards, I may read a poem, I may read a song. It just depends. But if you would like to do just a short practice together, you don't need a mat. You don't need to change your clothes. Just find a comfortable space where you're sitting in a chair, lying down, resting on the floor. Very simple. Take in a deep breath and let's begin. Just gently close your eyes if that feels safe for you. If not, it's okay to have your eyes open or just a little open. I want you to inhale through your nose for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like for you to hold it for 2. 1, 2. And then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. We're going to breathe to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for the count of 2. 1, 2, and exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now gently take your ears from one shoulder to the other. Very gently allowing this ear to lie upon the shoulder. You may even want to take the shoulder up and release it. Our shoulders love our ears. Up and release. Breathe. Now let's gently come to center and roll your shoulders back. Feel your muscles soften. If tension begins to release, allow a gentle sigh to escape. You don't have to carry everything on your shoulders. Remember, you are enough. Let's gently put our right hand over our heart and have your left palm resting upwards on your lap or in front of you. Breathe into your chest, feeling the rise and the fall. And as I send Reiki to you, allow this energy to come into your open hand and go into your heart. May the Reiki healing that I send you go where it needs to go and flow where it needs to flow. Now say to yourself gently, I am safe in my body. I am allowed to release. And I am open to healing. I am safe in my body. I am allowed to release. and I'm open to healing. I'll take both your hands to your heart, maybe in prayer mudra. Now I'd like for you to imagine a soft golden light surrounding your body. With each breath in, the light melts away any tension. With each exhale, you feel yourself letting go. Take one more deep breath and slowly release. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. That was just a taste of what somatic yoga can do. Remember, somatic yoga is not about pushing harder or achieving more. It's about slowing down, listening, and giving your body what it needs. Whether you're healing from trauma, dealing with stress, or simply wanting to feel more connected to yourself, this practice is a powerful tool. And the best part, you can do it anywhere. I love the fact that I can be laying on the couch in the morning or in my bed and just be like, breathe, release. And many times in the morning, I'm thinking about processing any dreams that I've had, any thoughts that I'm carrying into this day, releasing what I don't want to take into the day with me, and then set some intentions or goals for the day, and then breathe life into those. If this resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to join me on one of my live classes. They're on Zoom, Tuesdays at 6 p.m. We'll weave some movement, some breath, mudras, mantras, dancing, affirmations, journaling, and meditation into a wonderful healing journey. You can find the information at yourcosmicconnection.com. You can click on the class calendar, and it's Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, and it's only a $10 investment. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and until next time, remember, you're safe, you're whole, and you're deeply loved. Namaste.